What is that? 365 days to what?
At exactly 2:17 a.m., inside a top-secret military research facility, hidden deep in the Nevada desert, every computer suddenly went black. For several seconds, no one moved, no one spoke. The only sound inside the room was the heavy breathing of the scientists. Then, every screen turned back on at the exact same moment. But instead of showing data, every monitor displayed the same image. Earth, seen from deep space. It looked as if someone or something was watching our planet from millions of miles away. Dr. Ethan Carter, one of America's leading astrophysicists, slowly stepped toward the nearest screen. His hands were shaking. Suddenly, the image disappeared. A countdown timer appeared instead. 365 days, 00 hours, 00 minutes, 00 seconds. The room fell silent. "What is this?" one scientist whispered. Before anyone could answer, a strange voice echoed through every speaker in the building. It didn't sound human. It didn't sound like a machine. It sounded like thousands of voices speaking as one. Then the message became clear. Asterisk, you have 1 year left. Asterisk, no explanation, no signature, just 6 terrifying words. Within minutes, the United States government locked down the entire facility. Every recording was classified. Every scientist signed a lifetime secrecy agreement. The public was told it had been nothing more than a technical malfunction. But everyone inside that room knew the truth. Something had contacted Earth. The next evening, Dr. Carter returned home outside Las Vegas, exhausted after nearly 24 hours without sleep. As he stepped out of his car, he noticed a young boy standing quietly across the street. The boy looked about 12 years old. He wore ordinary clothes, but there was something deeply unsettling about him. His bright blue eyes seemed almost impossible. The boy smiled, then asked one simple question. Asterisk, if saving humanity required sacrificing one innocent life, would you do it? Asterisk. Dr. Carter froze. What did you say? The boy smiled again. You'll know the answer in exactly 1 year. Then he turned and walked away. Dr. Carter looked down for only a second to unlock his front door. When he looked back, the boy was gone. No footsteps, no cars, no place to hide. It was as if he had vanished into thin air. That night, Dr. Carter reviewed every security camera around his house. The footage showed him arriving. His car, the street, the sidewalk, everything, except the boy. There was no sign that the mysterious child had ever been there. The following morning, an emergency meeting was called at the Nevada facility. Reports had flooded in from across the United States. More than 700 people had claimed they saw strange lights moving silently across the night sky. Even stranger, every witness reported having the exact same dream. A voice repeated the same sentence over and over. Asterisk, when the sky turns red, humanity must choose. Asterisk. Dr. Carter slowly looked around the room. This wasn't a coincidence anymore. The countdown had already begun. And what terrified him most was the growing realization that the greatest danger wasn't coming from outer space. It was already here. The room remained completely silent. No one spoke. Every scientist stared at the giant screen displaying reports from across the United States. More than 700 witnesses, different cities, different states, yet every single person described the exact same dream. Asterisk, when the sky turns red, humanity must choose. Asterisk. Dr. Ethan Carter knew this couldn't be a coincidence. Someone, or something, was communicating with humanity. Suddenly, the emergency meeting was interrupted. The steel doors burst open. A senior military officer walked inside carrying a black briefcase marked with one word. Classified. He placed the case on the table. Without saying a word, he entered a 12-digit security code. The briefcase slowly unlocked. Inside was an old photograph. It showed a group of American soldiers standing beside a massive metallic object buried beneath the Nevada desert. The photograph was dated October 14th, 1968. What exactly are we looking at? Dr. Carter asked. The general took a deep breath. It's time you learned the truth. The object in this picture wasn't built by humans. The room instantly fell silent. The general continued. 58 years ago, a military excavation team discovered something nearly 2 miles beneath the Nevada desert. It wasn't a crashed spacecraft. It wasn't a weapon. It was a door, a giant metallic door, over 300 feet tall, covered with symbols no human language had ever matched. The U.S. government secretly built an underground research facility around it. For decades, the door never moved, never made a sound, until, exactly 1 year ago, Dr. Carter's heart began racing. 1 year ago? The general nodded. That's the day the countdown started. Before anyone could ask another question, every light inside the facility suddenly went out. Emergency alarms echoed through the underground base. Red lights flashed across every hallway. A terrified voice came over the intercom. Security breach. Sector 9 has been opened. The general's face turned white. That's impossible. No one has access to Sector 9. Dr. Carter and several soldiers ran toward the underground tunnels. As the massive steel elevator descended nearly 2 miles below the desert, an icy silence filled the cabin. No one spoke. 30 seconds later, the elevator doors slowly opened. What they saw made everyone stop. The enormous metallic door was no longer closed. It was open, only a few inches, and from the narrow opening, a strange blue light slowly spilled into the dark hallway. The air suddenly became freezing cold. Every electronic device stopped working. The soldiers raised their weapons. One of them whispered, "Did anyone else hear that?" At first, Dr. Carter heard nothing. Then, a faint sound echoed from behind the giant door. Sounded like children laughing. Soft, slow, almost friendly. One young soldier stepped closer. "Maybe someone is trapped inside," the general shouted. "Don't move." But it was too late. The soldier reached the glowing doorway and gently placed his hand against the metal. The laughter stopped. Complete silence. Then, a child's voice whispered from the darkness. Asterisk. "We've been waiting for you." Asterisk. The soldier's eyes suddenly turned completely black. His body became perfectly still. Then, without making a single sound, he slowly smiled. A smile no human face should ever make. And in a calm voice that clearly wasn't his own, he looked directly at Dr. Carter and said, "The countdown was never for us. Asterisk. It was for you." Asterisk. The room went silent. Every soldier froze. Every scientist stared in horror at the young soldier standing beside the giant metallic door. His eyes were completely black. His smile looked unnatural. And the voice coming from his mouth wasn't his own. "The countdown was never for us. Asterisk. It was for you." Asterisk. Suddenly, the soldier collapsed to the floor. The black color vanished from his eyes. When he woke up, he remembered nothing. Not a single second. Dr. Ethan Carter slowly approached the glowing doorway. For the first time in 60 years, humanity was about to see what existed beyond the mysterious door. The blue light became brighter. Then a figure emerged. It wasn't a monster. It wasn't a terrifying alien invader. It looked almost human. Tall, thin, silver-colored skin, large blue eyes. The being calmly stepped forward. The soldiers immediately aimed their weapons. The creature raised its hands peacefully. Then it spoke perfect English. Asterisk. "Please don't be afraid." Asterisk. Everyone was stunned. The alien looked directly at Dr. Carter. Asterisk. "We came here thousands of years ago." Asterisk. "Not to conquer Earth." Asterisk, "but to protect it." Asterisk. The room fell silent. The alien continued. "Long ago, an advanced civilization known as the Shadows traveled across galaxies, destroying intelligent worlds. They consumed planets. They erased civilizations. And wherever they went, nothing survived. Thousands of years earlier, another alien race discovered Earth. They realized humanity had potential, creativity, compassion, hope. They secretly built the underground gateway and remained hidden while protecting Earth from the shadows. For centuries, the protection worked. Until 1 year ago, Dr. Carter felt his heart pounding. What happened 1 year ago? The alien looked down sadly, then answered, *, we failed. *. A massive hologram suddenly appeared in the air. Everyone gasped. They saw thousands of giant black ships moving through space, heading directly toward Earth. The countdown timer wasn't a warning. It was an arrival schedule. The shadows would reach Earth in exactly 1 year. A terrified scientist asked, "Can we stop them?" The alien remained silent. For several seconds, nobody spoke. Finally, he answered, *yes. Hope returned to the room. Then he finished the sentence. But the cost is greater than you can imagine. At that moment, Dr. Carter remembered the mysterious boy, the question, the sacrifice, the warning. Suddenly, everything began making sense. The alien looked directly into Ethan's eyes, then said words that changed his life forever. "The child you met, was not human. And he was not one of us. He was the future. Dr. Carter felt cold. What does that mean? The alien activated another hologram. A young boy appeared. The same boy. The one from outside Ethan's house. Then the impossible truth was revealed. The boy was Ethan's future grandson. A child who would be born decades later. Someone who had traveled back through time to warn humanity. And according to every future timeline, only one person could stop Earth's destruction. Dr. Ethan Carter. But saving humanity would require the ultimate sacrifice. His own life. The alien looked at him sadly. The choice will soon be yours. Far above them, beyond Earth's atmosphere, millions of dark ships continued moving closer. And for the first time, humanity realized it was not alone in the universe. Unfortunately, neither were its enemies. The underground chamber fell into complete silence. No one moved. No one spoke. Every eye was fixed on Dr. Ethan Carter. The alien's final words echoed through the room. Only your sacrifice can save humanity. Dr. Carter looked at the hologram of the young boy. For a moment, he remembered every conversation they had shared. The strange question, the mysterious smile, the impossible disappearance. Now he finally understood. The boy had never come to ask for help. He had come to prepare him for the truth. Suddenly, every alarm inside the facility began screaming. A military officer rushed into the chamber. "They're here!" The hologram changed instantly. Thousands of enormous black ships appeared above Earth. They weren't attacking. They were waiting. The alien turned toward Dr. Carter. The shadows always give intelligent civilizations one final choice. Either surrender your freedom, or fight for your future. Outside, the sky above Nevada slowly turned dark red. Across New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, Miami, millions of Americans looked up in fear. The same red sky spread across every continent. The countdown reached its final seconds. 10, 9, 8. Every television, every phone, every satellite, every screen on Earth suddenly displayed the same message. Your decision will define your species. The alien pointed toward the giant metallic door. Behind it stood an ancient energy core. If this core is activated, the invasion will end. But the energy can only be controlled by a human mind. And the person who activates it will never return. The room fell silent again. Dr. Carter slowly smiled. He looked at the soldiers, the scientists, and finally, at the young boy from the future. The child had tears in his eyes. "I'm sorry, Grandpa." Dr. Carter gently placed his hand on the boy's shoulder. "No, you gave us a chance." Then he walked toward the glowing energy core. The alien lowered his head in respect. Every soldier saluted. As Dr. Carter reached the center of the chamber, he took one final look at Earth on the giant screen. This planet gave humanity everything. It's time humanity gives something back. He placed both hands on the ancient device. A blinding blue light filled the chamber. The entire facility shook violently. Outside, a massive wave of light shot into space, crossed the moon, past Mars, and struck the fleet of the shadows. One by one, every black ship stopped moving. Then, without a single explosion, they vanished. Silence returned to the universe. Earth was safe. But when the light disappeared, Dr. Ethan Carter was gone. No body, no trace. Only his wedding ring remained on the floor. 1 year later, the U.S. government officially declared him missing. The real story remained classified. No history book ever mentioned his name. But every year, on the night the sky had once turned red, people around the world reported seeing a single blue star shining brighter than every other star. The alien race quietly left Earth. Before leaving, they sent one final message. The strongest civilization is not the one with the greatest weapons, asterisk, but the one willing to sacrifice for others, asterisk. #### moral. Humanity is not saved by power. It is saved by courage, compassion, and the willingness to protect others, even when no one will ever know your name. Sometimes, the greatest heroes are the ones history never remembers.